relationships, and even other men often don't know how to handle it. Sigmas, welcome back to the place where being misunderstood is your superpower. The world sees your quietness as a void, but it's actually packed with analysis, foresight, and psychological precision. You're not quiet because you lack words. You're quiet because you're calculating which ones are worth speaking. While others speak to be heard, you observe to understand. That's not just smart, it's tactical. Research in behavioral psychology has shown that highly intelligent individuals often display signs of introversion, independent thinking, and deep focus. 3 traits Sigma males embody naturally. You don't follow the herd. You question it, dissect it, and if necessary, walk alone without flinching. What terrifies people isn't just your intellect. It's the fact that you combine it with unpredictability. You don't chase approval. You don't seek validation. And because you're self-sufficient, people can't control you. That's what truly shakes them. You don't reveal your strategy, but you always have one. Your intelligence is a silent weapon, calm on the surface, but lethal in execution. In this video, we'll explore how your mental sharpness influences every area of life, from decision-making to relationships to how you handle adversity. We're going to uncover why your presence changes the dynamic of every room you enter, because nothing about you is random. Let's go deep. Point 1, Sigma males. Think in systems, not in stereotypes. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, scroll through their phones, go to jobs they tolerate, interact on a superficial level, and react emotionally to anything that disrupts their routine. But Sigma males, they operate on a completely different frequency. Instead of coasting through life, they reverse engineer reality. A Sigma male is not interested in blindly following the crowd. He doesn't just in society, it. Where others react impulsively, he observes, reflects, and calculates. Social dynamics. He doesn't just participate in them, he studies them like a chessboard. Every conversation, every power play, every silent glance is data to a Sigma. While others worry about popularity, a Sigma decodes the rules of the game and quietly works on rewriting them. In business, Sigmas tend to see opportunities others miss. They look beyond the product and ask, what's the business model? Who controls the supply chain? Where is the leverage? Many great entrepreneurs and innovators, like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, exhibited Sigma-like traits. They didn't play by the traditional rules. They studied systems, broke them apart, and rebuilt them on their own terms. Socially, Sigma males are the wild cards. They're not obsessed with fitting into any group or social hierarchy. While others are busy networking to climb the ladder, a Sigma is observing who built the ladder in the first place and deciding whether it's even worth climbing. That's what makes them unpredictable. And in a world driven by predictability and routine, unpredictability is power. People fear what they can't anticipate, and it goes deeper. Sigma males don't gossip because surface-level noise is irrelevant to someone tuned into long-term patterns. They're the type who remember your tone, not just your words. They notice what's said in a conversation. They aren't trying to be liked, they're trying to understand. While the world is on autopilot, the Sigma male is designing the flight path. That's not just rebellion, it's strategic detachment. And in today's complex world, thinking like a Sigma isn't just different, it's an advantage. Point 2, they observe everything, speak when it matters. Sigmas are hyper-observant by nature. They don't just glance around a room, they scan, assess, decode. While most people are busy reacting, Sigmas are studying. They watch body language, tone shifts, facial expressions, micro-movements, all the subtle cues others miss. But here's the thing, this observation isn't rooted in judgment. It's about understanding motives, identifying weaknesses, and spotting potential threats or opportunities. It's intellectual warfare, quiet, tactical, and always intentional. This is why Sigma males often dominate without trying. They operate in a world of strategic restraint. When they speak, people go silent, not because they're flashy or aggressive, but because their words carry weight. In a society drowning in noise, constant opinions, endless chatter, and emotional outbursts, Sigma intelligence feels like a scalpel. Clean, precise, disarming. Neuroscience supports this kind of observational power. Studies in cognitive psychology reveal that individuals who practice intentional silence and deep observation tend to show heightened activity in areas of the brain linked to pattern recognition and critical thinking. Sigmas use this to their advantage. They let others exhaust themselves with surface-level debates. Then, when the moment is right, they speak. One sentence, one idea, and it cuts through the noise like a blade through fog. You've probably seen this play out in meetings or social settings. The Sigma is quiet for 40 minutes. People mistake the silence for disinterest. But then, out of nowhere, he says something that completely dismantles the main argument. Not emotionally, but logically, strategically. That's the Sigma advantage. It's not just about being quiet, it's about being quiet. This terrifies people, especially those who thrive on performance and external validation. Because Sigma males don't play by those rules. They don't need applause. They don't seek approval. They speak only when it matters, and that ironically gives their voice even more power. So next time a Sigma sits silently in the corner, understand this. He's not disconnected. He's just 10 steps ahead, waiting for the right moment to strike with truth, clarity, and precision. Point 3. Sigma males intellectually intimidate without trying. You don't try to flex, but your natural independence and insight intimidate those who thrive on group validation. And that's not arrogance, it's alignment. See, Sigma males operate on a wavelength most people don't even tune into. While society is busy sorting people into alphas who lead and betas who follow, the Sigma walks his own path, quietly rewriting the rules. Let's break it down. Unlike the alpha who thrives in the spotlight or the beta who leans on direction, the Sigma thrives in solitude. He doesn't chase applause or permission. He thinks, he calculates, and then he moves with purpose. In psychology, this is linked to a strong internal locus of control, meaning Sigma males believe they are responsible for the outcomes in their lives, not luck, not people, not external forces. And that mindset is, in relationships, Sigmas don't need constant reassurance. They're not emotionally detached. They're emotionally self-sufficient. This makes them mysterious to some and intimidating to others. A woman used to men who seek validation might feel confused when the Sigma isn't constantly trying to prove his worth. But here's the kicker. His worth. That's rare. That's attractive. That's dangerous. At work, Sigmas often rise in unconventional ways. They don't play office politics. They don't try to outshine others. They just focus on the goal. Quiet competence often leads them to leadership roles, not because they demand control, but because people naturally trust their judgment. History has examples. Think of Keanu Reeves, introverted yet admired, or Steve Jobs, who rejected social norms to build something extraordinary. And here's what really shatters the alpha versus beta narrative. Sigmas win without being part of the pack. In a society addicted to groupthink and social climbing, someone who walks alone and still wins, that's unsettling. But it's also inspiring. You don't bark, you don't beg, you build. And when you speak, your results do the talking. That's not noise, that's Sigma. Point 4. You see the hidden patterns in human behavior. People lie, but patterns don't. That's the terrifying truth Sigma males live by. While most people get distracted by charm, words, or emotions, the Sigma male studies. Not just behaviors, but inconsistencies in tone, facial expressions, timing, and reactions. Think of him as a quiet observer in the room who doesn't speak much. But when he does, it's as if he's been reading your mind the entire time. Now here's what makes that scary to manipulators. Sigma males aren't interested in surface-level appearances. They cut through the noise and spot red flags that others ignore. It's not magic, it's psychology. Studies in behavioral science confirm that people tend to show micro-expressions when lying or hiding something. These tiny, involuntary facial movements often reveal true feelings, and Sigma males have a knack for spotting them, often without even realizing it. For example, while someone is crafting a sob story to gain sympathy, the Sigma male is watching their eyes, their hands, their pauses. Did the story change slightly each time? Did their emotions spike too quickly, then vanish just as fast? That's a pattern, and it doesn't lie. That's why manipulators absolutely Sigma males. Manipulators thrive when their targets crave approval, attention, or social validation. But the Sigma male, he doesn't need your approval. He's not emotionally reactive. He observes, calculates, and then makes his move or leaves entirely. You don't even realize you've been found out until it's too late. And while others are emotionally entangled in a manipulator's web, the Sigma male is already 5 moves ahead. He's strategizing. He's removing your influence quietly, coldly, and permanently. That's terrifying to those who rely on control, because control only works on those who don't see it coming. So remember this, people lie. Words deceive, emotions can be faked, but patterns never lie, and a Sigma male never misses them. Point 5, emotional control is your superpower. Sigma intelligence isn't just about having a high IQ or knowing random facts, it's about mastering emotional discipline. While others react impulsively, Sigma males respond with calculated precision. You don't lash out, you calculate. You don't panic, you position. That's what sets you apart in a chaotic world. You're not emotionally unavailable, you're emotionally in control. And that control, it intimidates people who thrive on emotional chaos. Let's face it, most people expect reactions. They poke, provoke, and push just to get a rise out of you. But when they come at you with drama, you treat it like spam mail, marked as irrelevant, instantly deleted and never acknowledged. That silence? It's not weakness, it's power. It's the unnerving calm before the next smart move you're already planning. Science backs this up. According to studies in emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman's work being the most well-known, people who can regulate their emotions tend to be better leaders, more strategic thinkers, and are more resilient under pressure. Sigma males naturally operate in this space. You're not just thinking logically, you're emotionally optimized. When the world goes into meltdown mode, you're the calm in the storm. You're the guy sipping coffee, observing the chaos, while quietly orchestrating your next move like a grandmaster in a chess match. Others may see this as cold, but it's actually clarity. You're not frozen, you're focused. And that unnerves people who are addicted to emotional noise. Let's not forget the funny side of it all. While everyone's venting on group chats or having mini meltdowns over nothing, you're somewhere minding your business like your Wi-Fi only connects to peace. You ghost drama like it's a phishing email. Why engage in pointless conflict when you could invest that energy into leveling up? This is why Sigma males are often seen as mysterious, intimidating, or even emotionless, but make no mistake, it's not that you don't feel, it's that you how and when to feel. And that level of self-mastery, that's what makes your intelligence not just rare, but absolutely terrifying to the average person. In a world that's constantly trying to trigger you, your calm is the real chaos. Point 6. Sigma males learn fast and adapt faster. You're the type who can learn a skill, master it in weeks and move on. Why? Because your brain isn't wired for passive absorption. It's designed for. You don't just read manuals or memorize steps. You. That's how mastery is born. This approach is known as a proven method backed by neuroscience. When you actively apply a new skill, whether it's coding a software script, sketching a human face, or setting up a makeshift shelter, your brain forms deeper, long-lasting connections. It's the same reason apprentices in ancient guilds learned faster than students in lecture halls. They learned not just by listening, but here's the twist. You're not doing it to compete. You're not obsessed with winning the game. You're obsessed with. Most people try to get ahead by following rules. You study the rules, dissect them, and then quietly start crafting your own. This is what makes you dangerous. You're not a player. You're a designer. And it doesn't matter what field it is, tech, art, psychology, survival. Your mind treats each new challenge like a software update. You download the knowledge, patch the weaknesses, optimize the system, and then on to the next level. This, the ability to adapt, reason, and problem solve in real time, is rare. According to psychological studies, most people rely on things they've already memorized or learned, but not you. You live in motion, you thrive in unfamiliar territory. This kind of mental agility freaks people out. Why? Because most folks live on autopilot. They wake up, do the same things, follow the same steps, and expect different results. Meanwhile, you're upgrading, evolving, moving forward like you're running a silent operating system no one else has. It's not arrogance, it's instinct. You've always known you were built differently. You're not here to follow the manual. You're here to write a new one. Point 7. You don't need validation. You validate yourself. While the world chases likes, followers, and applause, the Sigma male is mastering solitude and growing in silence. This one stings for many because it challenges everything society tells you to value. You see, we live in a validation economy. Social media platforms are built on metrics that reward external approval, thumbs up, hearts, shares, and endless notifications. Most people are addicted to this feedback loop. Their sense of worth rises and falls with every comment, every view, every like. But the Sigma male, he unplugged from that game a long time ago. He's not motivated by attention. He's motivated by mastery. The Sigma male thrives in solitude, not because he's antisocial, but because he understands the power of internal growth. While others are busy curating perfect versions of themselves for online approval, the Sigma is building skills, stacking knowledge, and refining his purpose in silence. He's not shouting about his grind, he's grinding in the shadows. This kind of self-validation is often mistaken for arrogance. People ask, why doesn't he care what we think? But it's not arrogance, it's resilience. He has trained himself not to approval, and when a man no longer fears rejection or craves validation, he becomes something rare and dangerous. Psychologists call this intrinsic motivation. The drive to do something for its own sake, not for a reward. It's what fuels top athletes, inventors, and leaders. And it's what makes the Sigma male nearly untouchable. He doesn't crumble under criticism, he doesn't bend to pressure. He's immune to flattery and indifferent to insult. That's terrifying to a world built on conformity. When someone can walk away from praise and still be whole, society doesn't know what to do with him. That's why people label him mysterious, aloof, or even arrogant, but the truth is he's just free, and freedom, real freedom, is what makes him unstoppable. Point 8. You can walk away from anything and mean it. You don't stay where you're not respected. That's not pride, that's principle. And here's the thing, very few people have the strength to act on that principle. Most will stay hoping things will change, but not you. You recognize that staying in a space where your value is questioned is a silent betrayal of your worth. The terrifying part, you don't just talk about walking away, you follow through. You don't give second, third, or fourth chances just to keep the peace. You don't announce it. You don't beg to be seen. You disappear quietly, cleanly, and completely. And when you vanish, your absence isn't just noticed, it echoes, it stings. Because while others rely on loud voices and dramatic exits to get attention, your silence says everything. This level of detachment isn't rooted in coldness, it's rooted in intelligence. You understand that true self-respect involves knowing where you're welcome and where you're merely tolerated. Psychological studies show that people with higher emotional intelligence are more likely to walk away from toxic situations because they value their mental and emotional health over temporary connection, and that scares people. Why? Because society conditions us to cling, to prove, to explain. But when you operate from a place of inner clarity, you flip the script. You don't chase validation, you carry self-worth. You don't fear being alone, you fear being disrespected. This boundary isn't just personal, it's powerful. It teaches others that your time, energy, and presence are not free for abuse. And make no mistake, your absence will be more powerful than most people's presence. That's because people are used to others sticking around, even when they're mistreated. But you choose peace over proximity, and that decision radiates a kind of power that can't be faked. So no, it's not arrogance, it's alignment. You're not being dramatic, you're being decisive. And in a world that often rewards those who settle, your refusal to compromise on your worth becomes revolutionary. Here's the truth, Sigmas. Your intelligence isn't terrifying because of what you know. It's terrifying because of how you it, silently, strategically, and with unwavering discipline. Sigma males operate outside the traditional social hierarchy. They don't crave validation or attention, which is exactly why people notice them. This quiet intensity creates an aura of mystery. You're not loud, but your presence speaks volumes. In a world addicted to noise, your silence is powerful, calculated, not empty. People feel uneasy not because you intimidate them, but because you unknowingly expose their need for external approval. You're not in the game to impress. You're in it to master yourself. That's what makes you dangerous. This is the Sigma way: independence over conformity, logic over emotion, and mastery over mediocrity. If even one part of this hit home, like subscribe and join this tribe of thinkers, doers, and quiet disruptors. This is your space. Stay sharp, stay real, and stay Sigma. They sense your presence even if they don't express it. You walk into a room and something shifts. Heads turn, not always in obvious ways, but with curiosity. Why? Because your presence echoes. It doesn't need to shout, boast, or put on a show. It simply is. That's the quiet dominance of a Sigma male. There is no noise from real electricity. It has no need for attention. Rather, it functions as a concentrated shadow, constant, serene, and unflinching. The Sigma attracts the attention effortlessly in contrast to the Alpha who demands it. He is just unforgettable. He doesn't make an effort to stand out. The majority of Sigma men leave a trail without noticing. They are preoccupied, focused on the objective, not the mirror, not because they are proud. They don't dress to impress, they dress to serve. It matters when they speak, and they do so when called upon. They walk alone, and the throng follows, not the other way around. You may have been called mysterious, distant, or even intimidating, but that's not a weakness, it's your edge. Your silence speaks volumes. You don't chase clout, you don't explain yourself. And in a world obsessed with validation, your self-assurance is magnetic. Psychologically, people are drawn to mystery. The brain is hardwired to seek closure, so when someone doesn't reveal everything, others become fascinated. That's you, calm in chaos, listening when others shout, sure of yourself without needing a fan club. Attraction isn't always about charm or charisma. Sometimes it's about restraint, confidence, purpose. So if people seem nervous around you, if they can't stop looking your way, if they remember you even after just one conversation, it's not by accident. You're not invisible, you're undeniable, you're a Sigma male, and that changes everything. Now let's dive deeper into what makes you truly one of a kind. Number one, he's unbothered by validation, and that's magnetic. Sigmas are a fascinating breed of men, quiet, independent, and unapologetically themselves. Unlike alphas who dominate with charisma or betas who seek validation, Sigma males operate outside the traditional social hierarchy. They're not on the hunt for likes, status, or clout. Their approval comes from within. They don't curate their lives to fit someone else's expectations. No filters, no performance. A Sigma can go an entire day without posting a thing online and still make an impact wherever he goes. Why? Because authenticity is magnetic. In a world addicted to attention, indifference is powerful. It's the paradox of presence. When you're not trying to be seen, people can't help but notice you. Psychologically, this ties into something called the research, shows that people are more attractive when they appear competent, but aren't trying to be perfect. Sigmas embody this effortlessly. They're good at what they do, but they don't boast about it. They walk into a room not to impress, but to observe, and in doing so, they often become the focus. Think of the Sigma as the modern-day lone wolf. He dresses for comfort, not attention. He's likely wearing a plain t-shirt and worn boots, rather than designer sneakers, but it's the calm, calculated confidence in his demeanor that grabs attention. He may not say much, but his silence speaks volumes. It's not awkward, it's intentional. And here's where it gets interesting. When people notice someone who doesn't seem to care whether they're noticed or not, curiosity takes over. Who is that guy, they wonder, and without a word, the Sigma has captivated the room. So if you're a Sigma and you've ever felt eyes on you for no reason, now you know. It's because you're not trying. That's your superpower. In a world obsessed with applause, the Sigma walks away from the stage and ends up owning it anyway. Not by force, not by performance, but simply by being real. Number two, he keeps his circle tight, and that sparks intrigue. Most people today seem to treat their lives like a 24/7 reality show. They share every meal, every mood, every mundane detail on social media as if the world is entitled to a live stream of their thoughts. But Sigma males, they're cut from a different cloth. They move in silence, and that silence speaks volumes. A Sigma male doesn't need validation from likes, shares, or comments. He understands that privacy is power. Rather than showcasing every achievement or setback, he chooses what to reveal and when. This intentional restraint isn't about being secretive, it's about being strategic. Psychologists have found that people who are more reserved tend to project an air of control and mystery, which often makes them more intriguing to others. Here's the thing. When a man isn't constantly announcing his goals, his relationships, or his whereabouts, he becomes a puzzle. And humans are wired to solve puzzles. The brain actually releases dopamine, the curiosity chemical, when we encounter something mysterious or unpredictable. So when a Sigma male walks into a room and doesn't overshare, it triggers intrigue. People wonder, who is he? What's his story? That curiosity becomes the seed of attraction. Moreover, Sigmas are selective with their energy. They don't just give access to anyone. This exclusivity signals value. In economics, scarcity increases worth. The less you see or hear from someone, the more you want to know about them. It's the same principle that luxury brands use. Limited access creates high demand. A Sigma male unknowingly uses this same psychology in social dynamics, and let's not forget the element of self-respect. By keeping his life private, the Sigma male avoids unnecessary drama, protects his peace, and stays focused on what truly matters. He doesn't post to impress. He lives to express, on his own terms. In a world obsessed with oversharing, the Sigma's silence isn't empty, it's magnetic. His mystery doesn't come from pretending to be deep, it comes from living with depth. Number 3, he radiates quiet confidence, not loud ego. There's something magnetic about a man who doesn't need to shout to be noticed. Enter the Sigma male, the embodiment of quiet confidence. Unlike alpha males who thrive on dominance and attention, Sigma males operate from a different frequency. Their power lies in subtlety, in control, in a presence that doesn't demand attention but commands it nonetheless. Psychologically speaking, quiet confidence stems from high self-efficacy, a belief in one's own ability to handle life without validation. According to psychologist Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory, people with high self-efficacy exhibit calmness under pressure, make deliberate decisions, and trust their inner compass. That's Sigma energy. You can see it in how they move. Their body language is composed, purposeful. No frantic gestures or nervous tics. Whether they're walking into a room or simply sitting alone in a cafe, there's an ease about them that says, I don't need to prove anything to you. That calm assurance disrupts the chaos around them, and then there's their mastery of silence. While others may rush to fill awkward gaps in conversation, Sigma males are perfectly comfortable with stillness. In fact, they silence strategically. Studies in communication psychology suggest that people who embrace silence are perceived as more confident, emotionally stable, and intelligent. When Sigma males speak, it's not to be heard, it's to be understood. Their words carry weight because they're measured, intentional, and often reveal deep insight. This kind of composure in social settings doesn't just make an impression, it creates curiosity. People want to know more about them. Women, especially, are drawn to this quiet power. It's mysterious. It feels safe and intriguing all at once. That unspoken confidence makes others feel like they're in the presence of someone who's figured things out. So, no, Sigma males don't need the spotlight. They're the spotlight, and it's not because they're loud, it's because that's the kind of confidence that can't be faked. It's the kind that's felt in the silence, in the glance, in the simple way they carry themselves. Confidence is sexy. But quiet confidence? That changes the whole room. Number 4, he dresses for himself, not the crowd. Sigmas don't follow fashion trends, they create their own. You won't find them obsessing over the latest designer drops or flipping through fashion magazines for validation. A Sigma male might be rocking a plain black t-shirt, rugged boots, and a worn-out jacket, and somehow still look like he walked straight out of a style magazine. But here's the question, why? Because true style isn't about you wear, it's about you wear it. Confidence is the cornerstone of a Sigma male's appearance. Studies in social psychology have consistently shown that people respond more positively to those who exhibit strong, grounded body language. That's what sets a Sigma apart. His stride has purpose, his posture is relaxed but assured. He doesn't fidget, he doesn't seek the camera, and he never overdresses to impress. And yet, somehow everyone notices him when he walks into a room. This is where the science of perception comes in. Research shows that authenticity is magnetic. When someone isn't trying to impress or conform, their energy becomes unique, and others pick up on it. That's the Sigma edge. They're not dressing for approval, they're dressing for comfort, utility, and personal expression. This isn't rebellion, it's freedom. Fashion trends are often dictated by what the masses follow. But Sigmas, they observe, they decode, and then they do the opposite. They know that when you chase trends, you become a copy of someone else's idea. But when you dress with intention and individuality, you send a message that says, I know who I am. And that message is far more attractive than any name brand logo. Sigmas make worn denim and scuffed boots look iconic, not because the clothes are expensive, but because they wear them like armor. They're not trying to fit into society's ever-changing standards. In fact, they're usually ahead of them. People eventually catch up to what Sigmas were already doing years ago. So here's the truth. You don't need flashy brands or extravagant outfits to look powerful. What you need is confidence, authenticity, and the courage to dress for yourself. Because real style doesn't follow the rules, it rewrites them. And that's what Sigma males do best. Number 5, he's passionate about something bigger than himself. A Sigma male doesn't waste time. He's not scrolling endlessly or getting caught up in meaningless gossip. He's building, creating, learning, exploring, whether it's mastering a new skill, launching a business, or planning his next solo travel adventure. A Sigma operates with one clear focus, progress, and while others chase validation, he chases growth. This relentless pursuit of purpose isn't just admirable, it's magnetic. Studies in psychology have shown that individuals with a strong sense of direction and self-discipline are perceived as more attractive. Why? Because passion gives life color. It gives structure to chaos and transforms an ordinary life into an extraordinary mission. Think about it. People are naturally drawn to energy. When you meet someone deeply immersed in a goal, whether it's writing a novel, building a tech startup, or becoming a martial arts expert, you can there drive even if they don't say a word about it. That's the Sigma effect. He doesn't have to shout his achievements. His presence whispers purpose. This quiet determination also taps into a deep psychological principle called. It states that people are most fulfilled when they feel autonomous, competent, and connected to a meaningful goal. Sigma males embody this. They don't follow trends, they create paths. They're not distracted by the noise because they're tuned into their own frequency. So if you're out there grinding in silence, sipping your coffee alone while mapping out your future, understand this. You're not being overlooked. You're becoming. You're showing the world what it looks like to live with intentionality. And that, without trying, becomes one of your most attractive traits. Even when the results haven't fully materialized yet, your consistency speaks louder than any flashy lifestyle. The world may not applaud you yet, but they notice. Energy doesn't lie. People sense when someone is on a mission, so keep building, keep learning, keep exploring. Because in a world full of distractions, the man with purpose stands out without even trying. Number 6. He's emotionally independent, but emotionally intelligent. Let's get real. In a world where drama is glorified and emotional outbursts go viral, staying calm and collected isn't just rare, it's practically heroic. Sigma males, often misunderstood as loners or emotionally detached, actually possess one of the most powerful traits a man can have. Emotional intelligence paired with emotional independence. Let's break it down. Sigma males don't need constant reassurance or emotional validation from others. They've done the inner work. This doesn't mean they're ice cold or shut off from the world. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Studies in psychology have shown that emotionally intelligent individuals are more empathetic, better communicators, and more resilient under stress. Sigma males fall right into that category. They're not just aware of their own emotions, they're tuned into others as well. The key difference, they don't let those emotions rule them. While others spiral into heated arguments or toxic cycles, Sigma males choose composure. When something goes wrong, they don't explode, they reflect. When faced with emotional manipulation, they don't play the game, they step out of the ring. This isn't detachment, it's discipline. In relationships, this makes them incredibly attractive. Why? Because emotional control brings a deep sense of safety. It means no petty fights over imagined slights, no wild mood swings, no codependence, just peace. A Sigma male doesn't lose himself to gain someone else. He sets boundaries, he respects others' space and expects the same in return. In today's emotionally chaotic society, this level of groundedness is like a breath of fresh air. It signals strength, not in the loud, aggressive way, but in the quiet confidence of someone who knows who he is. It's no surprise that emotional stability ranks among the top traits women find attractive, according to research published in. So, when a Sigma male walks into a room, calm and self-assured, people notice. Not because he's trying to impress anyone, but because in a world full of emotional noise, he's mastered the art of internal peace. And that's a rare superpower. Number 7, he doesn't chase, he attracts. Sigmas don't chase validation. And ironically, that's exactly why they get pursued. Unlike most men who are constantly trying to impress, signal status, or gain approval, the Sigma male moves to the rhythm of his own inner compass. He's not sliding into DMs with corny lines, trying to outshine other guys in the room, or desperately seeking someone's attention. He shows up fully present, fully himself, and that kind of quiet confidence creates a gravitational pull that's hard to resist. It's basic human psychology. We're wired to value what's scarce, and in a world overflowing with people shouting, "Look at me," the one who remains silent and secure in himself stands out. Sigmas are rare. They're not trying to be liked, they're just being authentic. And that authenticity, it's magnetic. This isn't just some trendy internet persona. Studies in behavioral psychology confirm that people who appear self-assured and non-needy are perceived as more attractive. Why? Because they radiate independence and self-worth. Two traits that signal emotional security and strength. It's the exact opposite of the pick-me energy that turns people off. Women pick up on this fast. When a man doesn't need them for validation, it flips the script. He's not giving off desperation, he's not playing games, he's not operating from lack. Instead, he's grounded, mysterious and centered, and that's alluring. The Sigma doesn't chase, and that's what makes him a prize. Other men admire it too, sometimes with envy. They wonder how he draws attention without trying, how he commands a room without saying much. But the truth is, it's not about saying the right thing, it's about the right thing. That quiet confidence, that inner calm, it speaks louder than words ever could. Sigmas don't walk into a room needing approval. They walk in already owning who they are. That's what makes them different. That's what makes them powerful. And that's why they get pursued. You see, real attraction isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about presence. It's about being so grounded in yourself that people feel better just being around you. That kind of presence can't be faked. It's built through self-mastery, purpose, and independence. So if you're wondering why Sigmas draw attention like a magnet, it's simple. When you're the guy who doesn't need attention, you become the one who gets it. And that, my friend, is the Sigma advantage. Number 8, he's focused on growth, not approval. While others are stuck in endless loops of comparison and seeking validation, the Sigma male is on a completely different trajectory. He's evolving. Instead of chasing clout or approval, the Sigma turns inward. He reads books not just for entertainment, but to expand his mind. He reflects deeply on life, his choices, and his values. He levels up, mentally, emotionally, and even physically, not for attention, but for growth. He doesn't waste energy asking, "Will this make people like me?" His focus is sharper. "Will this make me better?" That question becomes his compass. This mindset is rare and powerful. Psychologists call it intrinsic motivation, the internal drive to grow without relying on outside approval. Studies show people who are intrinsically motivated are more creative, more disciplined, and more fulfilled long-term. Sigma males embody this deeply. They're not driven by trends or peer pressure. They're guided by vision and purpose. This self-mastery is attractive on a primal level. Evolutionary psychology tells us that confidence, independence, and self-sufficiency signal high value in a social group. These traits communicate leadership potential, emotional stability, and long-term resilience. That's why people are drawn to the Sigma male, even if they don't know why. So if you've ever noticed people getting quiet around you, acting defensive, or even becoming strangely curious, it's not a coincidence. They sense something different, something deeper, something powerful. It's the presence of a man who's not trying to impress anyone because he's already impressed himself. Sigma males don't seek the spotlight, but the spotlight often ends up finding them. Sigmas, you are far more attractive than you give yourself credit for, not because you're trying to be, but because you're not. Your silence, your strength, your solitude, it all adds to your mystique. Keep walking your own path. Keep building your life on your terms. The right ones will notice, not because you shouted, but because you showed. So if this video sparked something inside you, hit that like button, subscribe, and join this powerful Sigma community. Apply these truths to your own journey and live the kind of life that attracts everything you need without begging for it. Stay true and stay Sigma. Sigmas. What happens when the quietest man in the room finally gets his heart shattered? Does he cry? Does he beg? Or does he disappear and come back as something unrecognizable? Here's the truth. When a Sigma male gets heartbroken, it's not just painful, it's terrifying, because heartbreak doesn't break a Sigma. It him, piece by piece, quietly, relentlessly. Let's break it down. A Sigma male is already a lone wolf, independent, self-sufficient, and deeply introspective. He doesn't love lightly. When he gives someone access to his guarded world, it's rare. So when that trust is betrayed, the aftermath isn't dramatic, it's internal, it's strategic, it's silent warfare. Unlike others who spiral in public displays of sorrow, Sigmas retreat, not out of weakness but to reconstruct. Neuropsychologists explain that highly self-aware individuals process emotional pain by detaching, reflecting, and recalibrating their internal world. That's exactly what a Sigma does. He vanishes from social circles, cuts the noise, and starts upgrading every part of himself, physically, mentally, financially. He doesn't post cryptic breakup quotes or jump into rebound flings. No, he hits the gym harder. He masters a new skill. He stacks his goals like dominoes and knocks them down one by one. This transformation is fueled not by revenge, but evolution. And here's the twist. When he resurfaces, he's sharper, stronger, completely redefined. That quiet man, he now walks like a storm with a calm face, and those who broke him, they barely recognize him. Studies on post-traumatic growth show that emotionally intelligent men who experience deep heartbreak often return more resilient, goal-driven, and emotionally mature. Sigma males embody that phenomenon to the core. So what happens when the quietest man in the room gets his heart shattered? He doesn't crumble, he evolves. He doesn't come back for closure. He comes back as the best version of himself, and the world had better be ready. Number 1, the myth of the emotionless Sigma. Let's clear something up right off the bat. Sigma males aren't emotionless robots. We're not cold-hearted. In fact, it's the of emotion that makes heartbreak so dangerous for us. Unlike other men who might vent their emotions openly or seek comfort in a crowd, Sigma males internalize everything. It's not about denial, it's about processing. When a Sigma gets hurt, he doesn't explode, he implodes, quietly, privately, intentionally. This can confuse outsiders. To the world, it looks like we're fine, maybe even indifferent, but under the surface, it's like a dormant volcano, silently building pressure. There's sorrow, there's reflection, and yes, there's fury, but not the kind that lashes out. It's the kind that fuels transformation. You see, Sigmas have a unique emotional intelligence that's often underestimated. Studies in personality psychology suggest that introverted and self-reliant individuals, traits strongly associated with the Sigma archetype, process emotional pain through introspection rather than expression. We replay events in our minds, we analyze what went wrong, and we don't move on until we've extracted the lesson. This is both our gift and our curse. On one hand, we don't make impulsive decisions out of heartbreak. We don't fall into rebound relationships or self-destructive behavior. On the other hand, we can disappear. We go dark. We pull away from the world, not because we're weak, but because healing for a Sigma is a solitary mission. And what comes out on the other side of that mission? That's the terrifying part for everyone else, because heartbreak doesn't destroy us, it evolves us. Like steel in the fire, we come back colder, sharper, more focused. And when we re-emerge, we're not the same man, we've upgraded. So next time you wonder why a Sigma male goes silent after heartbreak, don't mistake his quiet for indifference. It's not that he's unaffected, it's that he's in the lab, rebuilding his armor, rewriting his rules, and preparing to rise stronger than before. In silence we heal, in solitude we rebuild, and in pain we awaken. That's the Sigma way. Number 2, why Sigma males fall so hard. Here's the deal. Sigma males don't fall in love the way most people do. We're not diving headfirst into relationships just because someone smiles at us or gives us attention. No, Sigmas are thinkers first, feelers second. We observe from a distance. We study behavior, we look for patterns, we test your intentions. And only if you pass those silent evaluations do we start to open up. But when we fall, it's not casual. It's not surface level, it's deep, intense, and rare. A Sigma male doesn't love halfway. He gives you the full experience, unfiltered loyalty, honest vulnerability, undivided attention, and a mind that's constantly figuring out how to protect and uplift you. It's a kind of love that feels almost sacred because it's so seldom given. Now here's where it gets serious. When that love is betrayed or broken, something inside a Sigma doesn't just get sad, it transforms. But not in the way you'd expect. We're not yelling in the rain or posting sad songs on social media. No, it's far more chilling than that. We go silent. You see, Sigma males are introverted alphas. We don't need the spotlight, but we command respect. Our silence after heartbreak isn't about avoidance, it's a recalibration, it's the storm before the reinvention. Neurologically, sigmas tend to engage the prefrontal cortex more often, the region responsible for reflection and planning. So when things go wrong emotionally, we don't spiral, we strategize. We analyze what broke us, and then we rebuild, but stronger, more focused, more dangerous in a good way. That heartbreak becomes fuel for ambition, discipline, and self-evolution. We channel pain into progress. It's like heartbreak unlocks a hidden level inside us, a level that's sharper, colder, but unshakably determined. This is why losing a sigma is often someone's biggest regret. We weren't just a fling or a phase, we were the calm storm they didn't know how to handle, and once we're gone, we don't come back. We disappear into a new version of ourselves, and that version doesn't tolerate betrayal twice. So no, sigmas don't fall easily, but when we do and when it breaks, it doesn't destroy us, it upgrades us. Number 3, the quiet disappearance ghost mode activated. When heartbreak hits, a sigma male doesn't broadcast his pain. There's no dramatic Instagram post or teary late-night rant, no cryptic tweets or public self-pity. He vanishes, just like that. Disappears from group chats, skips hangouts, and detaches from the digital noise. But make no mistake, this isn't a breakdown, it's a reset. You see, sigmas are wired differently. They're lone wolves by nature, often choosing solitude over attention. And when pain knocks on their door, they don't open it for sympathy, they use it as fuel. This phase, what many call ghost mode, isn't isolation, it's incubation. It's where the real metamorphosis begins. In psychology, this aligns with the concept of post-traumatic growth, where adversity becomes a catalyst for self-improvement. Studies show that individuals who process emotional setbacks in solitude often emerge more resilient, self-aware, and driven. That's exactly what a sigma male does. He doesn't retreat to feel sorry for himself, he retreats to reforge his identity. The gym becomes his therapy chamber, not for vanity, but discipline. Exercise, proven to release endorphins and reduce cortisol, helps him regulate stress and rebuild confidence. Books replace small talk. In those pages, he sharpens his mind, absorbs wisdom, and cultivates inner peace. Business ideas replace fantasy. Instead of replaying painful memories, he channels energy into purpose, whether it's launching a project, mastering a skill, or planning his next move. This phase is quiet, but powerful. Like a snake shedding its skin, the sigma uses pain to grow. He upgrades his mindset, his habits, and his future, and when he finally returns from ghost mode, he's not the same man. He's better, stronger, wiser, more focused. To the world, it looks like he just disappeared, but behind the scenes, he was evolving, so the next time a sigma male vanishes after heartbreak, don't assume he's broken. He's rebuilding, brick by brick, in silence. And trust this, when he comes back, the world will notice. Number 4, the self-reflection phase, turning pain into wisdom. Unlike most, sigma males don't just move on, they evolve. Every heartbreak becomes a lesson. Every betrayal becomes a blueprint. Sigma males process pain differently, while others may seek comfort or distraction. Sigmas retreat into solitude, not to escape, but to rebuild. This isn't about nursing wounds, it's about transformation. Heartbreak forces the sigma into a silent self-audit where he questions not just what happened, but it happened, and what it revealed about his choices, values, and emotional blind spots. This is where it gets intense. Sigma males are introspective by nature, and heartbreak becomes fuel for inner recalibration. They start refining their standards, what they'll tolerate, who they'll let in, and what kind of energy they'll allow near them. Emotional boundaries get tighter. They don't just raise the bar, they the bar. According to psychological studies on emotional resilience, people who engage in reflective solitude often experience post-traumatic growth. For sigmas, this is magnified. They're not just getting over someone, they're using the pain to unlock a more powerful version of themselves. And that's the terrifying part, because when a sigma emerges from heartbreak, he doesn't come back the same. He comes back smarter, more emotionally fortified, and far more selective. He may still be quiet, but his silence is now laced with purpose. He may still observe from the shadows, but now with sharper eyes and a sharper mind. He becomes a man of strategy, one who's hard to fool, harder to manipulate, and impossible to break. Heartbreak doesn't break the sigma, it upgrades him. It's like forging a blade. Fire doesn't destroy steel, it tempers it. The same goes for Sigmas. Pain doesn't weaken them, it makes them lethal in silence. They become the kind of man who walks into a room and doesn't have to say a word. Yet somehow everyone listens. So if you ever wonder what happens when a Sigma male gets heartbroken, understand this. He's not recovering, he's reinventing. And what rises from that emotional wreckage is not a broken man, but a silent storm you never saw coming. Number 5, the comeback, stronger, sharper, untouchable. Then out of nowhere he returns, but not the same. He's leaner, focused, his eyes sharper, his presence heavier. He doesn't seek revenge, he doesn't need closure. His growth, the revenge. This is not your typical heartbreak story. This is the Sigma male transformation arc, a psychological and emotional metamorphosis that defies the usual narrative. When a Sigma male gets heartbroken, he doesn't drown himself in distractions or spiral in self-pity. He doesn't parade his pain on social media or look for validation from the outside world. Instead, he retreats into the shadows, not to hide, but to, let's break this down. Sigma males are known for their independent nature, introspective thinking, and emotional self-sufficiency. According to psychologist Carl Jung's archetypes, Sigmas embody the lone wolf personality, someone who operates outside the dominance hierarchy, often detached but deeply observant. And when that kind of man gets hurt, he doesn't collapse, he recalibrates. Scientifically, heartbreak activates the same regions of the brain that physical pain does, the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula, but instead of being consumed by this pain, the Sigma male uses it as data. Pain becomes fuel. Betrayal becomes a blueprint. He'll hit the gym, not out of vanity, but discipline. He'll read more, not to escape, but to evolve. He'll refine his goals, not out of spite, but clarity. And one day, without warning, he resurfaces. He's not back to win her back. He's not back to show off. He's just back, better, upgraded. The heartbreak didn't break him, it rebooted him. It was never about revenge, it was always about transcendence. In a society obsessed with quick fixes and rebound relationships, the Sigma male takes the path least traveled: solitude, reflection, and self-mastery. And in that silence, he becomes something rare, something powerful. So the next time a Sigma disappears after heartbreak, don't assume he's shattered. Know this, he's sharpening. And when he returns, he won't be asking for closure. He the closure. Number 6, the emotional shift. Love isn't off the table, but here's the twist. Sigmas don't give up on love. We just get surgical about who gets access next. Let's break that down. When a Sigma male experiences heartbreak, it doesn't send him into a spiral of desperation. Instead, it sharpens him. Like a samurai who survives betrayal, he doesn't swear off the blade. He simply learns to wield it with more precision. That's what becoming is all about. Emotional minimalism isn't the absence of feelings, it's the intentional filtering of emotional investments. Sigmas aren't cold, they're cautious. Every word, every connection, every shared moment now goes through a quiet, invisible test. Psychologically, this is known as. After a painful experience, the brain naturally builds protective walls to avoid repeating trauma. According to studies in neuropsychology, our amygdala, the part of the brain that processes emotions, becomes more sensitive after emotional injury. In response, Sigma males evolve. They streamline their connections, not to isolate, but to preserve their peace. Now, they don't chase, they observe, they don't over-explain. They let people reveal themselves. And most importantly, they no longer trade their energy for surface-level affection. That's not bitterness. Think of it like cleaning out a cluttered hard drive. Sigmas remove the malware, those who drained them, ghosted them, or pretended to care, and upgrade their emotional operating system. They run leaner, faster, sharper. They begin to seek loyalty, not lust, depth, not drama, consistency, not chaos. And that makes them magnetic. Why? Because in a world where many are hungry for attention, the Sigma is content in silence, waiting for someone who speaks his language of depth and loyalty. So, no, Sigmas don't give up on love. They just level up their standards. Love still matters, but now... Number 7, humor in the dark. Let's be honest, somewhere in this process, we laugh at the red flags we ignored, like how she said she wasn't ready for a relationship while already treating you like a part-time husband with full-time emotional labor, or how her phone was always upside down, yet she swore she had nothing to hide. We laugh because deep down we know it was never about losing her, it was about finding ourselves. That's the Sigma's secret weapon, transformation through solitude. Here's the truth, heartbreak hits everyone, but Sigma males handle it differently. They don't rant on social media, they don't start posting gym selfies with vague captions like rising from the ashes. No, they vanish, not to sulk, but to rebuild. They go full Batman mode, low profile, high focus. The psychology behind this, it's the ability to convert emotional pain into productive energy. Napoleon Hill wrote about it. Carl Jung hinted at it. Sigmas live it. Science backs it up too. A 2007 study published in found that emotional pain lights up the same brain regions as physical pain. But here's where it gets interesting. Resilience, self-awareness, and a sense of purpose can literally dull the pain. That's Sigma territory. While others spiral into rebound relationships and seek validation, the Sigma male alchemizes heartbreak. He dives into new skills, new goals, and new mental frameworks. He might learn a language, start a business, move in silence. While she's posting TikToks with a new guy 3 weeks later, he's out here leveling up without saying a word. And yes, we laugh at the drama we escaped, at how she said, "You'll never find better," like she was a limited edition collectible. Meanwhile, we're sipping green tea, trading crypto, hitting cold plunges, and listening to Jordan Peterson interviews like they're mixtapes. This isn't bitterness, it's evolution. Sigma males aren't afraid of being alone because solitude is their sanctuary. It's where they recalibrate, reflect, reinvent. So if you're in that post-heartbreak phase, just remember this. Pain is temporary, but the glow-up is permanent. Especially when you stop chasing and start choosing yourself, because the ultimate flex is not revenge, it's reinvention. And if you can laugh along the way, even better. After all, turning pain into punchlines isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the Sigma way. Lessons to take home. What every Sigma learns from heartbreak. Your emotional depth is a rare and powerful thing. It's your ability to feel, connect, and understand on a level that goes beyond surface conversations. But here's the hard truth. Depth isn't for everyone. Psychologists call this emotional intelligence, and not everyone develops it. Some people operate on shallow wavelengths. They're not wired to appreciate or reciprocate profound connection. So when you offer your depth to the wrong person, it can feel like casting pearls before swine. Save that depth for people who are capable of swimming, not those who panic in the deep end. Healthy relationships are built on mutual effort. Just because someone likes you or even says they love you doesn't mean you owe them the same in return. Real love involves time, trust, and respect, none of which can be demanded. According to relationship experts like Dr. John Gottman, lasting love is rooted in small, consistent actions that build over time. So no, love isn't a debt, it's a gift, and not everyone qualifies to receive it. Peace isn't just a vibe, it's a psychological need. Chronic stress from toxic relationships can lead to anxiety, insomnia, even heart problems. That's not drama, it's science. Your nervous system thrives in calm, safe environments. That's why letting go of someone who constantly disrupts your peace isn't selfish. It's survival. Protecting your peace isn't weakness. It's emotional maturity. Sometimes the best revenge isn't a dramatic exit speech. It's silence and success. When you level up, emotionally, spiritually, financially, you close chapters without saying a word. Growth becomes your statement. According to studies on post-traumatic growth, people who face hardship and channel it into personal development often come out stronger and more self-aware. That's the kind of closure no apology can compete with. Transformation isn't comfortable. Like gold refined by fire, you become more resilient by enduring hardship. Research shows that resilience is built through adversity, not comfort. The fire may burn, but it also reveals what you're made of. You don't just bounce back, you rebuild better, wiser, and stronger. But first, you have to face the flames. Sigmas. If this message resonated with you, if you've ever walked through heartbreak and came out sharper, wiser, and more unstoppable, then this is your community. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and join this tribe of men who don't settle, don't beg, and don't break. Apply the Sigma qualities to your life. Choose growth, choose silence, and choose self-respect. Stay true and stay Sigma. Welcome, Sigmas. It's no secret that women are naturally drawn to men who can elevate their lives and provide security. Women seek partners who satisfy their emotional and physical needs, making them feel cherished and valued. This allows them to truly flourish, without having to carry the same burdens alone. On the other hand, men are intrigued by women who are both ambitious and driven, traits that add excitement and depth to a relationship. It's like merging two powerful energies, the nurturing power of the feminine and the dynamic force of a go-getter spirit. But here's the catch. What if you could find a woman who combines both? A woman who's as nurturing as she is driven. That's the dream, isn't it? Enter the Sigma male, a man who doesn't seek the spotlight, but commands respect effortlessly. He doesn't chase or try to impress because his confidence is genuine and calm. Studies show that women are biologically programmed to be drawn to this steady presence, a man who provides emotional safety without being overbearing. This isn't just about biology, it's about the magnetic appeal of mystery and independence. Sigma males possess a quiet yet undeniable charm that makes women feel both safe and excited. Their laid-back demeanor masks a powerful drive and ambition, making them irresistible to women who crave both security and adventure. So let's dive into the 8 compelling reasons why women can't help but fall in love with Sigma males, and discover how this unique energy creates relationships that are deeply fulfilling and transformative. Number 1, the enigmatic aura. Sigma males exude a mysterious charm that's hard to ignore. Their reserved nature and introspective demeanor create an aura of intrigue, making others curious to learn more about them. Unlike the typical alpha or beta male archetypes, Sigma males carve their own path. They're fiercely independent, often preferring to navigate life on their terms rather than conform to societal expectations. So what exactly makes Sigma males so captivating? For starters, their quiet confidence speaks volumes. They don't feel the need to boast or draw attention to themselves. Instead, their authenticity and self-assuredness shine through in their actions. This subtle magnetism can be more alluring than overt displays of dominance. It's like watching a lone wolf move with purpose through a forest, calm, focused, and untamed. Psychologically, people are naturally drawn to mystery. Studies in social psychology suggest that we're wired to be intrigued by individuals who reveal only glimpses of themselves. It creates a sense of allure because we want to solve the puzzle, to understand what lies beneath the surface. Sigma males embody this perfectly. They often share their thoughts selectively, leaving people hanging on every word, wondering what's really going on in that enigmatic mind. Moreover, Sigma males are typically highly self-aware and introspective. They're the type to spend hours reflecting on their goals, values, and purpose. This inward focus often makes them wise beyond their years. They're less likely to be swept up in fleeting trends or shallow pursuits, and more likely to engage in meaningful conversations that challenge conventional thinking. From an evolutionary standpoint, this behavior can be seen as a signal of strength. In hunter-gatherer societies, those who were self-reliant and could thrive without constant validation were respected. Today, Sigma males carry that same air of self-reliance, commanding respect without demanding it. Their understated charisma extends beyond the realm of social interactions. Sigma males are often driven by a sense of purpose rather than a desire to impress. This authenticity is rare and deeply attractive. It's why they seem to leave a lasting impression on everyone they meet. So the next time you encounter a Sigma male, pay attention to the quiet intensity in his eyes and the calm strength in his demeanor. You might just find yourself drawn in by that magnetic pull, curious to uncover the depths of his mysterious soul. Number 2, intellectual depth. Beyond their quiet exterior lies a mind that's rich with thoughts and ideas. Sigma males are often misunderstood as loners or emotionally distant, but the truth is far more fascinating. These men possess an intellectual depth that fuels their inner world, making them masters of deep thinking and stimulating conversation. Unlike the stereotypical alpha male who may thrive on being the center of attention, Sigma males operate on a different frequency. They don't feel the need to dominate social settings or seek validation from the crowd. Instead, their power lies in their contemplative nature, constantly observing, analyzing, and reflecting. This introspective approach allows them to develop complex ideas and a unique perspective on life. When Sigma males do engage in conversation, it's never surface-level small talk. They tend to dive into meaningful topics, often challenging conventional wisdom or exploring abstract concepts. Their discussions are like mental workouts, sparking curiosity and encouraging others to think deeper. Whether it's philosophy, science, culture, or personal growth, Sigma males bring a rich intellectual energy that captivates those lucky enough to engage with them. One fascinating trait of Sigma males is their ability to listen attentively. They don't just wait for their turn to speak. They genuinely absorb what others say, processing information carefully before responding. This skill makes their input valuable and often surprising because it's well thought out, rather than impulsive. This quality also creates a sense of respect and trust as people feel genuinely heard and understood. Research on personality traits offers some insight into why Sigma males exhibit this behavior. They often score high in introversion and openness to experience. Introversion explains their preference for solitary reflection, while openness relates to their curiosity and appreciation for new ideas and experiences. This combination fosters creativity and intellectual growth, making Sigma males natural philosophers, innovators, or visionaries in various fields. In social dynamics, their preference for quality over quantity in relationships means their conversations tend to be rich and meaningful rather than frequent or superficial. This makes Sigma males rare gems in a world often dominated by noise and distraction. So while they might not be the loudest voice in the room, Sigma males hold a treasure trove of ideas beneath their calm exterior, a quiet storm of intellect waiting to inspire, challenge, and transform. Number 3, authentic independence. Sigma males are often described as the lone wolves of the social hierarchy, but this label doesn't quite capture the full picture. At the core of what defines a Sigma male is their deep value for autonomy, the freedom to live life on their own terms without feeling tethered to societal expectations or social norms. This trait of self-reliance is not merely about enjoying solitude, it's about a profound confidence and inner assurance that sets them apart in any crowd. Unlike alpha males, who often seek leadership roles and social dominance, Sigma males prefer to operate independently. They don't crave validation or status from others because their self-worth is internally sourced. This means they can thrive whether they're in a group or completely alone. Research in social psychology highlights that this type of intrinsic motivation, where individuals find satisfaction from within rather than external rewards, is linked to greater emotional resilience and well-being. One fascinating fact about Sigma males is their ability to navigate social situations without conforming to group pressures. They are often observant and highly perceptive, preferring to analyze before engaging. This selective interaction stems from their desire to maintain autonomy rather than be swept up in social dynamics that don't align with their personal values or goals. This makes them appear mysterious or enigmatic, qualities that naturally draw people's curiosity and admiration. Another interesting point is how their self-assuredness can be incredibly attractive. Confidence that isn't loud or boastful but quietly steady tends to inspire trust and respect. This is backed by psychological studies showing that people are generally drawn to individuals who display authentic confidence. Confidence rooted in self-acceptance rather than arrogance or aggression. Sigma males embody this by knowing who they are, what they want, and not feeling the need to broadcast it to the world. Moreover, Sigma males tend to develop a wide range of skills to sustain their independence, from problem-solving and creativity to emotional intelligence. They often become masters of adaptability, able to handle unexpected challenges without panic, because they rely on their internal compass rather than external guidance. In summary, Sigma males' self-reliance is much more than enjoying solitude. It's a rich blend of autonomy, confidence, and emotional intelligence. This unique combination not only empowers them to live authentically, but also makes them magnetic to others, who sense the strength in their quiet independence. Number 4, emotional stability. In a world where emotional turbulence seems to be the norm, Sigma males often stand apart due to their remarkable calmness and composed nature. This steady demeanor is not just a personality quirk. It's a defining trait that impacts how they interact with the world and the people around them. But what exactly makes Sigma males so uniquely calm, and why does this quality matter so much? First, it helps to understand who Sigma males are. Unlike the stereotypical alpha male who seeks leadership and social dominance, Sigma males tend to operate outside the traditional social hierarchies. They are independent, self-reliant, and highly introspective. Because they don't rely heavily on external validation or social approval, Sigma males aren't easily rattled by social drama or emotional outbursts that might throw others off balance. One of the reasons Sigma males maintain such composure is their strong emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, refers to the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions, as well as to empathize with others. Sigma males usually have a high EQ, which means they can navigate emotional situations with a cool head, making decisions based on logic rather than reactive feelings. This emotional stability provides a sense of security to those around them, as people naturally gravitate toward calm individuals in moments of crisis or uncertainty. Interestingly, research shows that people who remain calm under pressure are often seen as more trustworthy and competent. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that leaders who exhibit emotional calmness inspire greater confidence and loyalty among their followers. While Sigma males might not seek leadership roles, their quiet confidence has a similar effect. They become natural anchors in chaotic environments. Another key factor behind their calm nature is their preference for solitude and reflection. Sigma males tend to spend a lot of time alone, which allows them to recharge and process their thoughts without distraction. This introspective habit builds mental resilience and clarity, enabling them to face stress without succumbing to panic or anxiety. Finally, Sigma males' calmness also stems from a mindset focused on control over the self rather than control over others. Instead of trying to manipulate situations or people, they prioritize mastering their own emotions and responses. This approach reduces unnecessary conflicts and emotional upheaval, contributing to a peaceful and composed presence. In summary, the calm and composed nature of Sigma males is rooted in independence, high emotional intelligence, introspection, and self-mastery. Their ability to remain steady amidst emotional storms not only defines their character, but also makes them a source of stability and trustworthiness in an often chaotic world. Number 5, non-conformist attitude. Sigma males don't follow the crowd. Unlike traditional social archetypes such as alphas or betas, Sigma males carve their own path, often quietly, sometimes mysteriously, but always with purpose. What sets them apart is not just a preference for solitude, but a distinctive mindset that values independence, critical thinking, and authenticity above all else. First off, Sigma males are known for their unique perspectives. While most people tend to conform to social norms, following trends, joining popular groups, or seeking approval, Sigma males question these conventions. They aren't rebels just for the sake of rebellion, but because they genuinely analyze whether the rules make sense to them. This critical approach enables them to challenge societal norms intelligently rather than blindly. Interestingly, Sigma males often possess high emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Studies in psychology show that independent thinkers tend to develop strong intrapersonal skills, meaning they understand themselves deeply. This self-understanding leads to better decision-making and often creates a magnetic aura of confidence and calm. It's no wonder they are described as intriguing and refreshing companions. Their presence signals depth and a refusal to engage in meaningless social posturing. Moreover, Sigma males tend to be highly adaptable. Because they don't rely on traditional social hierarchies, they can navigate various environments without needing validation from others. Whether in a work setting, social group, or unfamiliar situation, Sigma males can observe, analyze, and act independently. This flexibility makes them excellent problem solvers and leaders in unconventional ways, often leading quietly from the background. Another fascinating aspect is that Sigma males value authenticity. They prefer genuine connections over superficial ones. They are not interested in small talk or playing social games, which can make their interactions feel more meaningful and intense. This authenticity attracts like-minded people who appreciate depth and substance. Sigma males also challenge the stereotype that leadership must be loud and dominant. Instead, they exemplify a more introverted style of leadership, leading through example, resilience, and wisdom, rather than charisma or force. This is supported by modern leadership research, emphasizing emotional intelligence and self-mastery as critical qualities in effective leaders. In summary, Sigma males offer a fresh alternative to traditional social roles. Their willingness to think independently, challenge norms, and value authenticity not only sets them apart, but also makes them deeply compelling. In a world that often rewards conformity, Sigma males remind us that sometimes the greatest strength lies in going your own way. Number 6, purpose-driven life. Sigma males are often characterized by a clear sense of purpose and strong personal goals, which fuel their drive and ambition. Unlike the traditional alpha male archetype, who may seek leadership through social dominance, Sigma males tend to pursue success on their own terms. This independent mindset allows them to focus deeply on personal growth and achievement without relying on external validation. Research in personality psychology shows that Sigma males often exhibit traits linked to high conscientiousness and openness to experience. Conscientiousness reflects a strong work ethic, discipline, and goal-oriented behavior, qualities that naturally align with ambition. Openness to experience fosters creativity and adaptability, helping Sigma males navigate challenges in unique ways. This combination makes their dedication to self-improvement both effective and inspiring. What sets Sigma males apart is their ability to remain motivated even when isolated. They don't need constant social interaction or approval to stay committed to their goals. This intrinsic motivation drives them to pursue long-term achievements, whether in career, hobbies, or personal development. Sigma males are also known for their strategic thinking. They plan meticulously and take calculated risks, which often leads to breakthroughs that others might miss. This methodical approach to ambition makes them stand out in competitive environments. Furthermore, their pursuit of personal growth is attractive because it's authentic. Instead of competing with others, Sigma males compete with themselves, striving to be better than they were yesterday. This self-driven ambition creates a magnetic aura, drawing respect and admiration from others. In summary, Sigma males embody ambition through purposeful independence, disciplined self-growth, and strategic thinking. Their journey is less about status and more about meaningful achievement, making their drive both educationally fascinating and genuinely inspiring. Number 7. Respect for boundaries. Understanding and respecting personal space is a key trait that sets Sigma males apart. Unlike many who might seek constant social validation or invade others' boundaries, Sigma males have a natural awareness of the importance of space, both their own and others. This respect for personal boundaries is not just about physical distance. It extends to emotional and mental space as well. Psychologically, respecting personal space is crucial for healthy relationships. Studies show that when people feel their boundaries are honored, trust and comfort grow. Sigma males instinctively grasp this, which is why their relationships tend to be balanced and genuine. They avoid clinginess or overstepping limits, allowing interactions to flow naturally without pressure or intrusion. This trait also reflects emotional intelligence. Sigma males are attuned to social cues, understanding when to engage and when to step back. They don't feel the need to dominate conversations or situations, which makes others feel safe and respected around them. In a world where many struggle with boundaries, the Sigma male's approach creates healthier connections. Their balance of independence and respect fosters mutual understanding, making their relationships not only meaningful, but sustainable. Ultimately, this boundary-conscious mindset is a silent but powerful form of leadership. Number 8, subtle confidence. Unlike overt displays of bravado, Sigma males possess a quiet confidence that's both genuine and compelling. This type of confidence doesn't shout for attention, but instead radiates from within, creating an aura that naturally draws people in without effort. Sigma males are often described as lone wolves, not because they dislike social interaction, but because they don't feel the need to fit into traditional social hierarchies. Unlike alpha males who might dominate a room with loud charisma and assertiveness, Sigma males quietly command respect through their calm and self-reliance. Their confidence is not about proving themselves to others, but about being fully comfortable in their own skin. This internal assurance stems from deep self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Studies in psychology suggest that people with high emotional intelligence tend to have better self-control, empathy, and resilience, traits Sigma males often exhibit. They don't seek external validation because they've already established a strong sense of self-worth internally. Moreover, Their independence makes their confidence even more compelling. Sigma males typically prefer to carve their own path rather than follow established rules or trends. This independent mindset allows them to avoid the pressure to conform, which often leads to more authentic and grounded confidence. Their presence can be described as magnetic yet understated. When a Sigma male walks into a room, you don't necessarily notice him immediately, but once you do, his calm demeanor and assured posture speak volumes. This subtle power is why Sigma males often influence people and situations without trying to dominate or control. In essence, Sigma male confidence is a silent force. It's a blend of self-respect, emotional strength, and independence that makes their presence naturally commanding without the need for overt displays or validation. This quiet confidence is not only fascinating but also a powerful reminder that true strength often lies in calm assurance rather than loud declarations. Sigmas, if you see these qualities in yourself or aspire to embody them, remember that embracing your unique path is a strength. Your authenticity and independence are not just admirable, they're magnetic. If you found value in this exploration, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join our community. Let's continue to delve into the qualities that define the Sigma male and inspire impactful living. Stay true and stay Sigma. They don't chase, they don't brag, they don't even try. Yet when an older Sigma male walks into the room, younger women, and they don't forget. While other men compete for attention, he simply exists. And somehow that changes everything. Why? It's not his age, it's not his wallet, it's not even his looks. It's that rare, raw, unteachable Sigma energy that speaks louder than words and operates on a different frequency. Welcome, Sigmas, to today's psychological deep dive. Let's make one thing clear. This isn't about charm tricks or chasing youth. This is about, and the science backs it up. Studies in evolutionary psychology show that women are biologically drawn to men who signal stability, confidence, and direction. Sigma males, with their emotional independence and lived experience, radiate exactly that. They're not loud, but they're grounded. They're not flashy, but they're deeply aware. They move through life with a quiet intensity, and younger women feel that. While others show off, Sigmas withdraw, and that paradox creates mystery. Mystery builds intrigue, and intrigue, it's irresistible. He's not just older, he's refined. His silence holds wisdom, his stillness holds strength. And unlike men who constantly seek validation, Sigma males validate. That's the secret. It's not manipulation, it's mastery. It's not performance, it's presence. So buckle up, Sigmas. We're breaking it all down, trait by trait, moment by moment. Let's go. Point 1, mastery of self, the foundation of Sigma energy. Younger women today aren't just looking for someone with a charming smile or a flashy lifestyle. They're looking for depth, direction, and emotional intelligence. In a world where so many men are still stumbling through life, unsure of who they are or what they want, a man who has done the inner work stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. That's where the older Sigma male enters the scene. Sigmas are known for their independence and self-reliance, but the older Sigma male has taken these traits to a whole new level. Through years of experience, failure, growth, and reflection, he has mastered himself emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. According to psychologist Carl Jung, true maturity comes from the integration of the shadow self, facing and healing your inner wounds. Most older Sigmas have done just that. They don't react impulsively, they don't seek drama. They move through life with calm precision, aware of their purpose and confident in their path. This grounded energy is incredibly rare, and rare is always attractive. It's not about being the loudest guy in the room or showing off expensive watches and cars. It's about presence. When an older Sigma walks into a room, people feel it. He doesn't need to prove anything because his confidence is rooted in something deeper than ego. It's rooted in knowing who he is. For younger women, this is magnetic, especially in a culture dominated by fast-paced dating, temporary flings, and emotionally unavailable men. A grounded man who offers emotional safety and intellectual depth becomes a beacon. He represents stability in a sea of uncertainty. He's not trying to be impressive, he just is. And that's the secret. Older Sigma males don't chase attention, they attract it. Because self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and a quiet but unwavering sense of purpose will always outshine loud, shallow bravado. Point 2, the power of mystery. Less talk, more presence. While younger guys flood their social media feeds with selfies, gym pics, and every latte they drink, older Sigma males take a different path, the path of silence. They don't broadcast every move. They don't need digital applause to validate their worth. They're off the grid, yet somehow always on her mind. How does that work? It's called the power of mystery, and it's magnetic. Psychologically, humans are hardwired to be curious about what they can't easily understand. When someone leaves gaps in their story, our brains can't help but try to fill them in. This is known as the information gap theory. The idea that we feel compelled to seek information when we notice it's missing. So when a man doesn't overshare, doesn't need to prove anything, and just exists in his own calm, confident space, it ignites curiosity in others, especially women. This is where the Sigma male thrives. He's not loud. He doesn't chase trends or scream for attention. Instead, he becomes the guy who walks into a room and makes people wonder. Younger women in particular are drawn to this kind of enigma. In a world of constant scrolling, they're used to surface-level personalities. So when they encounter a man who doesn't lay it all out immediately, someone who feels like a challenge, it disrupts the pattern. A Sigma is like a Rubik's Cube made of life experience, quiet strength, and just enough unpredictability to keep things interesting. And unlike a social media profile, you can't swipe your way into his world. You have to earn access. Every layer you unlock reveals something deeper, a story, a belief, a skill. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about being genuinely selective with his time and energy. The result? He becomes unforgettable. Not because he posted the perfect reel, but because he didn't need to. His silence, his mystery, and his presence say more than 1,000 filtered selfies ever could. That's Sigma power. Point 3, age =, wisdom, not weariness. Let's set the record straight. Age doesn't make a man less attractive, not when he's a Sigma male. In fact, Sigma males often become attractive with age. Why? Because they were never chasing shallow validation to begin with. While others may have spent their youth focused on fleeting trends or surface-level appeal, Sigmas were building something far more powerful: depth. Their focus has always been inward, growing in wisdom, developing discipline, and mastering their emotions. This makes them stand out in a world obsessed with noise and novelty. Younger women, especially those tired of emotional immaturity and constant online showboating, are naturally drawn to this quiet strength. Sigmas offer what the TikTok generation often lacks: stillness, substance, and sincerity. These men don't chase clout, they move with intention. They don't post every opinion. They reflect, analyze, and speak only when it matters. And let's be honest, that kind of restraint is magnetic. It's been scientifically observed that confidence, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence, traits that typically develop with age, are major factors in long-term attraction. A 2012 study published in found that people with high emotional stability were seen as more attractive, regardless of physical features. Sigma males check that box effortlessly. Their life experience becomes a story women want to be part of, not because it's flashy, but because it's real. While younger men may flex abs, Sigma males flex their vision. They don't dwell on their past. They learn from it. Every scar is a symbol of growth. Every setback, a stepping stone. Their age isn't a number to hide. It's a badge of honor that says, I've walked through fire and came out sharper, wiser, and unshakably calm. So no, age doesn't make a Sigma less attractive. It only reveals more of who he truly is. And trust me, that's what makes him irresistible. Point 4, they don't try to impress. And that impresses. Here's the paradox. The Sigma male doesn't care about impressing anyone, and yet everyone's impressed. Why? Because true power lies in detachment. While most men scramble for validation, the Sigma simply exists on his own terms. And that kind of self-possession is magnetic. Younger women, especially those accustomed to constant attention, flattery, and the chase, find the Sigma male a different breed altogether. They're used to being pursued, but when a Sigma encounters them, something shifts. He doesn't look at her in admiration. He looks through her. He's analyzing, not adoring, observing her words, energy, and actions, not her appearance. And that throws her off balance. Why? Because the Sigma male isn't trying to win her over. He's not performing. He's not auditioning for her affection. He's silent, calculating, and if he doesn't find substance beneath the surface, he won't engage. This rare reversal of roles flips the script entirely. Suddenly, she's leaning in. According to psychology, people are naturally drawn to what they can't easily understand. The Sigma's quiet mystery, combined with his confident detachment, creates an irresistible pull. In marketing terms, it's scarcity. When something is rare, people want it more. And the Sigma's attention? It's rare. This dynamic operates on what's known as the reward uncertainty principle. When the brain can't predict whether it will get a reward, like the Sigma's attention, dopamine spikes. She becomes intrigued, even obsessed. Because the Sigma refuses to play by traditional rules, mystery plus indifference wrapped in quiet confidence becomes a cocktail most can't resist. He's not cold, he's just selective. And that selectiveness, it makes people chase what they normally take for granted. The Sigma male doesn't pursue, yet he's always pursued. Not because he's trying to be elusive, but because his authenticity, independence and self-control speak louder than 1,000 pickup lines. In the end, the Sigma's greatest flex is that he doesn't flex at all. Point 5, financial stability plus emotional maturity equals sign. Unfair advantage. Let's be real. It's not just about the age gap, it's about the gap. By the time a Sigma male hits his 40s or 50s, he's usually built a life by design, not by default. He's not just drifting through life reacting to circumstances, he's made conscious strategic moves. Financially, he's stable or thriving. Emotionally, he's no longer ruled by ego or impulse. Mentally, he's sharp, self-aware, and intentional. Every move he makes is calculated, not because he's cold, but because he values his time, energy, and peace. Now let's talk about what this looks like from the outside. Younger women aren't necessarily drawn to the in his age. They're drawn to the he carries. While many younger men are still figuring out their identity, switching careers every 6 months, and chasing short-term validation, a Sigma male in his prime stands firm like a tree that's weathered many storms. In psychological terms, this is known as emotional maturity, a trait proven to foster healthier relationships, stronger communication, and greater life satisfaction. According to studies published in the Emotional Intelligence tends to peak later in life, particularly between the ages of 40 to 60. Sigma males naturally exemplify this, often because they've spent years refining themselves in solitude and silence rather than social noise. In a chaotic world where anxiety is common and uncertainty is the norm, a Sigma male doesn't just bring calm, he calm. He doesn't promise a stable life, he won. That's the difference. He's not trying to save anyone, impress anyone, or be someone he's not. He simply lives in alignment with his values, and that kind of authenticity is magnetic. So when a younger woman sees him, it's not about sugar daddies or status. It's about safety, wisdom, and strength in a world that rarely offers any. The age gap may catch her eye, but it's the value gap that captures her respect. Point 6, high standards, low drama. The Sigma male is famously known for one defining trait: he doesn't do drama. Unlike many who get caught up in emotional roller coasters, petty conflicts, or exhausting games, the Sigma chooses a different path. But this isn't because he's boring or disengaged. Far from it. The real reason lies in his high standards, not only for those around him, but most importantly for himself. Drama, by nature, is chaotic and distracting. It drains energy, clouds judgment, and stalls personal growth. The Sigma male recognizes this early on. He values his time and emotional bandwidth too much to waste it on unnecessary conflicts or immature antics. Instead, he focuses on what truly matters: meaningful connections, purposeful goals, and self-improvement. This attitude naturally filters out negativity and attracts people who share a similar level of maturity and respect. When a younger woman with emotional maturity encounters a Sigma male, she finds something incredibly rare and refreshing. She notices that he isn't desperate or needy. He doesn't chase attention or validation. Instead, he's quietly selective, choosing to invest his time and energy only in relationships that are genuine and worthwhile. That selectivity is not about arrogance, it's about self-respect. For her, catching the Sigma's attention is the ultimate compliment. It means she stands out in a crowd, not because she fits a mold, but because she resonates with his values and high standards. It's a signal that she's seen as a quality person, worthy of his time and energy. This dynamic explains why Sigma males often attract partners who are emotionally grounded and self-aware. Both parties value authenticity over superficiality, and that creates a strong foundation built on mutual respect and understanding. So when you hear the Sigma doesn't do drama, remember, It's not about avoiding life's challenges. It's about choosing to engage only in what enriches his life and elevates those around him. Point 7, he offers adventure, but with direction. Most younger men often offer spontaneity without much substance. It's easy to be all about last-minute plans, quick thrills, and surface-level fun. But that's where older Sigma males stand apart. They offer adventure with intention. This isn't just about chasing excitement, it's about pursuing meaningful experiences that shape both mind and character. Older Sigmas tend to be well-traveled, having seen the world beyond the tourist traps. They've walked ancient paths, navigated foreign cities, and learned from diverse cultures. Their journeys aren't just about collecting stamps on a passport, but gathering wisdom and stories that deepen their perspective on life. This broad exposure feeds into a mental richness few can match. Beyond travel, these men are deeply read and curious. They dive into philosophy, history, and science, not to impress, but to understand the world and their place in it. They're the kind of people who love debating ideas over a quiet evening, rather than just scrolling through social media or chasing fleeting entertainment. This intellectual curiosity drives them to constantly evolve. Instead of merely wanting to hit the club or pursue surface-level fun, older Sigmas aim higher. They dream of hiking remote mountains, uncovering hidden truths, and even building empires, whether in business, art, or thought leadership. Their adventures are deliberate, focused on growth and legacy. Younger women who crave depth and authenticity are naturally drawn to this type of man. He shows them the world not just in places, but through perspectives, offering a connection that transcends the superficial and touches the soul. In a culture often obsessed with instant gratification, older Sigmas remind us that true adventure is about intention, meaning, and growth. Point 8. He teaches without preaching. There's nothing more annoying than someone who lectures endlessly, telling others what to do without truly inspiring them. The Sigma male takes a completely different approach. Instead of preaching, he leads by example. This subtle, powerful style of influence is what sets him apart. Through his deliberate choices, calm demeanor, and composed reactions to adversity, the Sigma demonstrates what it means to be masculine, mature, and mission-driven. He doesn't waste energy telling younger women or anyone what they should be. Instead, he quietly shows them what's possible by living it himself. This form of leadership is grounded in authenticity and action, not empty words. Research in psychology shows that people are far more likely to be influenced by behavior they observe rather than by direct instructions. The Sigma's calm confidence and resilience under pressure create a magnetic aura. This kind of leadership inspires respect and trust naturally, making it far more effective than any lecture or command. That kind of leadership, it's irresistible. It draws others in, not through force or pressure, but through genuine strength and example. In a world full of noise, the Sigma's quiet power stands out as a beacon of true influence. So, Sigmas, here's the real deal. Younger women don't just see an older Sigma as a romantic option, they see him as a standard. He represents what's rare in today's world. A man who doesn't need attention to be powerful, who doesn't chase trends to feel valid, and who doesn't fake confidence. He is confident. This is why age gaps don't scare Sigma males. Because their value doesn't decrease with age, it sharpens. You don't have to chase youth when you embody wisdom. You don't have to impress when you're the impression. Remember, Sigmas, it's not about being older, it's about being better. If this video struck a chord, drop a like. Hit that subscribe button and join the tribe of Sigma males living life on their terms. Share this with a fellow Sigma who needs the reminder. Your time, energy, and presence are your greatest currency. Stay focused, stay free, stay true, and stay Sigma. Do you ever wonder why the longer a Sigma male is single, the more unstoppable he becomes? What kind of man becomes stronger, wiser, more magnetic, and even more mysterious the longer he walks alone? Because while most chase validation, Sigmas evolve in silence. Let's break this down. Being single isn't a setback for the Sigma, it's an opportunity. According to psychological studies on solitude, time spent alone enhances self-awareness and creative problem-solving. Sigma males harness this to refine their goals, habits, and mindset. They don't waste energy trying to impress. Instead, they channel that energy into mastering skills, building financial independence, or learning new disciplines, whether it's coding, fitness, or philosophy. Time alone gives them clarity. They're not distracted by social expectations or emotional turbulence. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that self-reflective solitude is associated with increased emotional regulation and reduced stress. Sigma males use this solitude to sharpen their focus and elevate their emotional intelligence. They also become more magnetic. Why? Because mystery is magnetic. In a world full of oversharing, a man who moves silently and confidently sparks curiosity. That unpredictability becomes power. And here's the kicker. They don't just grow, they transcend. By refusing to conform, they cultivate a rare energy that makes them immune to societal pressure and more in tune with their authentic self. So, while others fear being alone, Sigma males thrive in it. Their solitude isn't empty, it's empowering. That's why the longer a Sigma male is single, the more powerful he becomes. Number 1, he taps into total freedom. Freedom isn't just about doing what you want, it's about discovering who you are at the core. For a Sigma male, being single isn't a period of lack, it's a period of liberation. When he's free of romantic obligations, he doesn't simply have time, he owns it. There are no calendars to sync, no compromises to make, no emotional labor to manage for someone else. Every hour is his to shape, and that autonomy is gold to the Sigma. Sigma males are naturally introspective, and solitude isn't loneliness, it's fuel. According to a 2022 study published in Personality and Individual Differences, individuals who embrace solitude tend to have higher levels of self-reflection and personal growth. That's Sigma 101. Without relationship constraints, he doesn't just function, he thrives. Want to move across the country for a better job? Done. Want to spend 2 weeks in the forest learning survival skills? Absolutely. Need a year to write a book or master Japanese? Let's go. This freedom isn't about escapism, it's about alignment. Without the need to please, impress, or compromise, Sigma males can focus their energy on self-mastery. They're not chasing dates, they're chasing excellence. And science backs this up. Maslow's hierarchy of needs places self-actualization at the top, where a person seeks to fulfill their full potential. That's exactly what a Sigma male is wired for when he's flying solo. He's not avoiding relationships out of fear. He's choosing independence out of purpose. That distinction matters. While society often pressures men to settle down as a sign of maturity, the Sigma quietly redefines what fulfillment looks like. His freedom is not about rejecting love, but about making room for something deeper, self-evolution. In this sense, his life becomes a canvas. He is the artist, the brush, his choices. Every stroke counts and nothing is wasted. He's not free to be careless, he's free to be deliberate, and that's the difference. So when a Sigma male is single, he's not waiting for love. He's building a life so rich, love would have to be extraordinary to be let in. Number 2, his mind becomes a weapon. Let's be real, Sigmas. When you're not bogged down by relationship drama, emotional turmoil, or the dopamine chaos of endless texting, something remarkable happens. Your mind sharpens. You shift from reacting to life to engineering it. A single Sigma male becomes a walking upgrade. While others burn hours swiping or chasing validation, he's deep into books, podcasts, and purposeful thinking. And this isn't random consumption. This is strategic learning. Think of it like updating your mental operating system daily. Whether it's Naval Ravikant on wealth and happiness or Cal Newport on deep work, he feeds his brain with high-performance fuel. Research backs this up. According to a 2019 study published in the journal Intelligence, solitude is often linked with higher cognitive engagement, particularly in men who are introverted and introspective. These individuals tend to pursue solitary activities like reading, writing, and planning, habits that directly boost critical thinking and emotional regulation. Solitude becomes the Sigma's laboratory. In that quiet space, he reflects on past choices, dissects future goals, and aligns his actions with long-term strategy. He's not escaping the world, he's mastering it from behind the curtain. And here's where it gets interesting. When he finally steps into the room, people feel it. He doesn't flood conversations with noise, he speaks with intention. Every word, every move carries purpose. It's not just charisma, it's presence. The kind you can't fake, the kind forged in solitude. People notice, but they can't quite explain it. He doesn't fit the mold. He's calm in chaos, confident in silence, unpredictable but grounded. That mystique, it's not luck. It's the product of deliberate self-construction. So while others chase attention, the Sigma male sharpens his focus. He builds in the shadows until the world has no choice but to notice the light. That's the Sigma advantage. Number 3, he levels up his physical presence. No clingy dates to skip the gym for, no late-night drama draining his energy reserves. When a Sigma male is single, he's not wasting time. He's building power. This isn't about vanity, it's about mastery. Sigma males understand that their body is the vessel through which all action flows. Biologically, exercise increases testosterone, improves focus, boosts mood, and strengthens resilience, traits that align perfectly with the Sigma's self-reliant lifestyle. According to the American Psychological Association, consistent physical activity improves not just physical health, but also executive functioning, like planning and decision-making, 2 things Sigmas excel at. Every workout becomes a meditation. Every disciplined meal is a vote for the man he's becoming. He's sculpting his body not for likes or validation, but because control over self is power. His wardrobe, intentional, streamlined, not flashy but sharp. Because dressing well isn't about ego, it's about energy. Studies show that dressing purposefully can increase self-confidence and perceived competence. Sigma males use this knowledge not to dominate, but to align their external presence with their internal purpose. And here's the paradox. He's not doing it to attract attention. But that very independence, that unapologetic self-focus is magnetic. It's human psychology 101. We're wired to be drawn to those who don't seek our approval. The less he chases, the more others look. And when he walks into a room with upright posture, calm composure, and a look that says he's been somewhere, even if he hasn't said a word, the energy shifts. Because confidence isn't loud, strength doesn't boast, and discipline doesn't need a spotlight. When a Sigma male is single, he's not waiting. He's working, he's refining, he's radiating a kind of energy that can't be faked, because it's built in the quiet moments when no one's watching. And that's when everyone starts paying attention. Number 4, he builds emotional intelligence, alone. Funny thing is, most people assume emotional growth only happens in the context of relationships, that you need a partner to uncover your weaknesses, trigger your insecurities, and help you grow. But Sigma males, we know better. Here's the twist. Solitude doesn't hinder emotional growth, it supercharges it. When you're single, you're not dodging hard truths behind romantic distractions. You're standing in front of the metaphorical mirror, face to face with your unfiltered self. There's no one to blame when your insecurities flare up. No partner to project your frustrations onto, just you and the raw, uncomfortable truth. And that's where the magic happens. Psychologists call this self-confrontation, and it's one of the most powerful tools for emotional development. A 2016 study in the Journal of Personality found that people who actively engage in self-reflection show increased emotional intelligence and resilience. This means they understand their emotions better and bounce back from setbacks faster. Sigma males naturally gravitate toward this path. We don't just sit in silence, we thrive in it. Every trigger we feel is an opportunity for analysis. Every lonely night is a chance to understand our inner workings more deeply. And every fear we face alone becomes a muscle we strengthen. This solo journey builds something no relationship can offer: emotional sovereignty. And when you step back into the world, whether into friendships, work, or even love, you're not needy, reactive, or codependent. You're grounded, calm under pressure, a man who knows himself so well that nothing external can destabilize him. That's emotional strength forged in solitude. That's the Sigma advantage. So the next time someone assumes you're missing out by being single, smile. Because while they're outsourcing their emotional growth, you're mastering yours, one silent, powerful moment at a time. Number 5, he learns to love without needing. Here's the twist. The Sigma male doesn't avoid love, he just doesn't need it to function. That's a game changer in a world that often equates worth with relationship status. The Sigma male, often described as the lone wolf, thrives in solitude not because he's emotionally unavailable, but because he's emotionally self-sufficient. This independence allows him to approach love from a place of wholeness rather than lack. In psychology, this aligns with the concept of secure attachment. He's not anxiously seeking validation, nor is he avoidant. He's grounded. The longer he remains single, the clearer he sees the distinction between attachment and affection. Attachment often stems from fear. Fear of being alone, fear of being unloved. Affection, however, is freely given without strings or desperation. It's presence without pressure. And here's where it gets deeper. He learns to differentiate neediness, a craving for someone to fill a void, from presence, which is about fully showing up for another person without expecting them to complete you. This mindset isn't just attractive, it's powerful. When a Sigma gives love, it's intentional. It's not a reflex to loneliness or social expectation, it's a conscious choice. He doesn't chase affection, he evaluates it. He doesn't settle just to check a box, he selects with clarity. This mindset makes him incredibly rare in today's fast-paced dating culture. In a world filled with performative affection and surface-level connections, his quiet confidence and deliberate love stand out. Studies show that people are naturally drawn to those who exude autonomy and authenticity, two traits the Sigma male has in abundance. That's why he's irresistible. He doesn't just offer love, he offers depth. And when he chooses someone, it's not because he needs them, but because he sees their value clearly. In the end, the Sigma male doesn't reject love, he elevates it. Number 6, he masters the art of detachment. Detachment isn't about coldness or shutting off from emotions, it's about clarity and control. Unlike impulsive reactions driven by anxiety or jealousy, detachment empowers you to observe situations without being overwhelmed. This distinction is key to understanding the mindset of a Sigma male, especially the single Sigma who has mastered this art. When most people receive a text that's ambiguous or wait anxiously for a reply, they spiral into overthinking. They analyze every word, decode every emoji, and sometimes imagine the worst scenarios. Similarly, subtle social cues, a glance, a smile, or a pause in conversation, become triggers for insecurity or jealousy. This emotional roller coaster creates a dependency on others' attention for validation and self-worth. The Sigma male, however, approaches these interactions differently. Detachment means he isn't a prisoner to his emotions, he uses them as tools. He experiences feelings fully but doesn't let them dictate his actions. This gives him remarkable clarity. Instead of reacting impulsively, he observes the dynamics objectively. He reads the room, gauges the energy, and understands when it's best to engage and when it's wiser to step back. Scientific studies on emotional intelligence reveal that individuals who practice healthy detachment manage stress better and make decisions that align with their long-term goals. They exhibit resilience, self-awareness, and a calm demeanor, qualities that naturally draw respect from others. Because he's not addicted to attention or approval, the Sigma male maintains independence. He's comfortable being alone and doesn't fear silence or solitude. This freedom unsettles people who rely on constant social validation because it's a form of power, the power to walk away without fear or regret. In essence, detachment is a strength, not a weakness. It commands respect because it reflects mastery over oneself. When others panic or cling to fleeting emotions, the Sigma remains steady, clear-headed, and in control. That's why detachment is a defining trait of the Sigma male. It's the balance of emotional depth with strategic clarity. Number 7, he becomes mysteriously attractive. Let's face it, mystery is magnetic. Throughout history, people have been drawn to those who carry an air of enigma. Think of the elusive artist, the quiet genius, or the lone wolf who walks his own path. Among modern personality archetypes, the Sigma male embodies this magnetic mystery like no other. What makes Sigmas so intriguing? It's their independence and self-reliance. Unlike others who constantly seek validation through social media likes or relationship updates, Sigma males operate on a different wavelength. They don't feel the need to broadcast their lives or chase attention. In fact, they often fly under the radar, choosing solitude and self-development over external approval. This absence of oversharing creates an aura of intrigue that naturally pulls others in. Psychologically, humans are wired to be curious about what they can't easily understand. This is called the curiosity gap. When something is partly unknown, it captivates our attention and drives us to seek answers. Sigma males, with their quiet confidence and mysterious demeanor, create exactly this gap. They don't hand out their stories. Instead, they let people wonder, question, and speculate. This makes them endlessly fascinating and irresistible in social dynamics. Another key trait of Sigmas is their emotional autonomy. They're not controlled by societal expectations or the need to fit in, which gives them a calm, steady presence that stands out. Because they aren't constantly in the spotlight, when they do choose to reveal parts of themselves, it feels rare and valuable. So while many chase the fleeting buzz of social approval, Sigmas quietly disappear and evolve, letting their authentic selves grow in the background. And ironically, the very mystery they maintain becomes a beacon, attracting others naturally. They are the enigma everyone wants to solve but never quite can, and in that lies their power. Number 8, he develops an unbreakable mission. When you remove all the distractions, the noise, the chaos, the meaningless clutter, your mission becomes crystal clear. This is the core strength of a Sigma male. Unlike others who may seek validation or approval from the crowd, a Sigma thrives in solitude. His alone time isn't wasted. It's a powerful tool that fuels his purpose. Research in psychology supports this. Solitude can significantly enhance creativity, focus, and self-awareness. When alone, the Sigma male can reflect deeply on his goals, plan strategically, and develop the discipline needed to master his craft. Whether he's building a business, honing an art form, or reshaping the world around him, every quiet moment sharpens his sense of why he's here. Unlike aimless wandering, a Sigma's solitude is deliberate. His purpose becomes his compass, guiding his every action. Neuroscientific studies show that having a clear purpose activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, which fuels motivation and persistence. This makes a man with purpose truly formidable. And here's the truth. When a man is driven by a profound why, he is not just surviving, he's hunting. He moves with intention, clarity, and relentless focus. He is the kind of man who doesn't need to shout his ambitions from the rooftops because his actions speak volumes. This level of focus and self-mastery makes the Sigma male one of the most dangerous forces in any arena, from business to art to life itself. So next time you find yourself overwhelmed by distractions, remember this: remove the noise, sharpen your mission, embrace your solitude, and hunt your purpose with unyielding precision. That's the Sigma way. So Sigmas, next time someone says, "Why are you still single?" just smile, because they don't see the storm you're building, the clarity you're crafting, the legacy you're laying brick by brick. The longer you're single, the more powerful you become, not because you're avoiding life, but because you're mastering it. Remember, being single isn't your weakness, it's your weapon. If you felt this video, Sigmas, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and join this growing brotherhood of men who live life by their own rules. Comment below and tell us what you've discovered about yourself during your solo journey. Stay strong, stay sharp, and as always, stay true and stay Sigma. When a Sigma male decides to marry, he doesn't suddenly become needy or overly expressive. Instead, his love shows up in powerful, understated ways. Chief among them is his quiet consistency. He doesn't flood his partner with constant "I love you" texts or dramatic romantic gestures. Instead, he shows up every day without fail. Studies in relationship psychology, including work by Dr. John Gottman, highlight that emotional trust and daily consistency are stronger predictors of long-term relationship success than sporadic displays of affection. Sigma males intuitively get this. Their emotional steadiness creates an environment of safety and reliability for their partner. What's fascinating is that Sigmas don't rely on external validation. They don't need a relationship. They choose it. That choice makes all the difference. It means every action, from making coffee in the morning to protecting their partner's dreams, is done with intention. And the moment a Sigma steps out of his solitude to share life with someone, it's like a mountain moving. He's inviting someone into a space he fiercely protects: his peace, his thoughts, his routines. He does this not out of obligation, but because he sees a partner as a true equal and ally, not a crutch. So when he says nothing but still shows up, it's because his silence is loaded with loyalty. His quiet strength tells her, "You're safe with me," without needing to say a word. This isn't passive love, it's deliberate, it's disciplined, and it's rare. Number one, he values her freedom as much as his own. Let's get one thing straight. A Sigma male doesn't believe in cages, not for himself and certainly not for his wife. In a society where many relationships mimic control rather than companionship, the Sigma male stands apart. He doesn't view love as possession. Instead, he sees it as partnership. His philosophy? A woman in full bloom isn't one kept in a glass case. She's one who's free to fly. Unlike alpha males, who may dominate, or beta males, who often appease, the sigma male carves his own lane, independent, introspective, and self-reliant. This independence also colors how he loves. He doesn't feel threatened by a woman with ambitions, opinions, or passions of her own. In fact, he celebrates them. Research in modern relationships supports this mindset. Studies from the Gottman Institute show that mutual respect and autonomy are key indicators of long-term relationship satisfaction. When both partners are free to pursue personal growth, the relationship strengthens rather than frays. For the sigma male, micromanaging is out of the question. He doesn't monitor texts, question every outing, or dictate her wardrobe, not because he's indifferent, but because he's secure. Trust is his foundation. He understands that a woman who's trusted feels valued, and a woman who feels valued gives her best in return. She's not a sidekick in his story. She's a co-leader in their shared journey. Her dreams are just as valid as his. Whether she's launching a business, going back to school, or chasing a lifelong passion, the sigma male is her loudest silent supporter, cheering from the sidelines without trying to take over the game. It's this blend of emotional intelligence, quiet strength, and unwavering respect that makes the sigma male a rare breed in modern love. And for the right woman, that's not just refreshing, it's revolutionary. Number 2, he's low maintenance but deeply present. Sigmas aren't needy, and that's not just a personality quirk, it's a defining trait. Unlike individuals who require constant emotional reassurance or external validation, sigma males are self-contained. They don't chase approval because their worth isn't measured by how others perceive them. It's anchored in who they are. That's why, when they're with their wives, they bring something rare and refreshing to the table: genuine presence. In a world dominated by digital distractions and half-hearted conversations, the sigma male stands out. He doesn't bring his phone to the dinner table, not because it's a rule, but because he chooses connection over convenience. Studies have shown that just having a phone visible during a conversation can reduce feelings of trust and empathy. The sigma knows this intuitively. His partner isn't just another voice in the background, she's the main event. No fake smiles, no passive nodding, no ahas while scrolling. When a sigma male listens, he does so with intent. He leans in, makes eye contact, and processes every word. This isn't about being dramatic, it's about respect. He listens like your words matter because to him they truly do. Neuroscience supports the power of active listening. It builds deeper emotional bonds and enhances trust, especially in romantic relationships. But here's the key: he doesn't do this to earn points. He does it because that's who he is. Independent yet emotionally intelligent, the sigma male doesn't need constant interaction to feel secure. But when he commits to a conversation, he's all in. His strength lies not just in his silence, but in the depth of that silence, focused, intentional, and filled with care. So, while others might perform presence, the sigma embodies it, not through grand gestures, but through the quiet, powerful act of truly showing up. And that's where his strength and his appeal lies. Number 3, he respects her intelligence, not just her beauty. While the world often conditions women to believe their worth lies in their appearance, the sigma male challenges this narrative. He isn't impressed by perfectly contoured cheekbones or the latest fashion trend. What grabs his attention? A woman with curiosity in her eyes and fire in her mind. Sigma males operate outside traditional social hierarchies. They're lone wolves, introspective, independent, and driven by substance over surface. This means they see past societal illusions. A sigma male isn't seduced by external glamour, he's drawn to intellectual depth, authenticity, and passion. When it comes to his partner, this mindset creates a powerful dynamic. Conversations aren't limited to small talk, they venture into rich terrain: philosophy, theology, politics, even quantum physics on a good day. And it's not about debate for ego's sake, it's about mutual growth. The sigma male views his wife as an intellectual equal, a fellow explorer in the landscape of ideas. Research supports that deep conversations can strengthen romantic bonds. A study published in Psychological Science found that couples who engage in meaningful discussions report higher levels of connection and satisfaction. For sigma males, this is instinctive. They're wired to go beyond the surface, because that's where true intimacy lives. Now let's talk about support. If his partner is chasing a dream, whether it's starting a non-profit or launching a podcast, the Sigma male is all in. He doesn't see her goals as a threat or a distraction. Instead, he sees her passion as part of what makes her extraordinary. He'll champion her with the dedication of a campaign manager and the loyalty of a lifelong friend. This kind of support isn't just romantic, it's revolutionary. It subverts outdated gender roles and fosters a relationship built on partnership, not pedestal placement. In a world that tells women they're either beautiful or brilliant, the Sigma male quietly affirms, "You're both, and more." In essence, the Sigma male is a game changer. He values intellect over image, depth over dazzle, and connection over convention. And in doing so, he helps redefine what it means to love and to be loved in the 21st century. Number 4, he stands by her, even when the world doesn't. A Sigma male is often misunderstood, not because he lacks presence, but because his presence doesn't come with noise. He's a quiet storm, calm on the surface, yet powerful in motion. While many men may feel the need to assert dominance or declare loyalty with grand gestures, the Sigma male's strength is revealed in the moments that matter most. You won't see him seeking validation or performing affection for an audience. Instead, he operates with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than words. Psychologists describe Sigma males as introverted alphas, men who possess the leadership qualities of an alpha but choose to operate outside traditional hierarchies. They are self-reliant, thoughtful, and highly observant. These traits make them emotionally attuned to the needs of those they care about. When the world turns its back on the woman he loves, criticizing her, doubting her worth, or overlooking her strengths, the Sigma male doesn't respond with aggression or arguments. Instead, he becomes her shield. He doesn't waste energy proving others wrong. He stays grounded, offering stability and loyalty when it's most needed. Studies in interpersonal relationships suggest that emotional support during times of stress is more impactful than constant praise. This is where the Sigma male thrives. He knows when to speak and when silence is stronger. He understands the power of showing up, not showing off. This quiet defender doesn't need to fight every battle. His presence is the defense. When she doubts herself, he reminds her of her worth, not with empty flattery, but with actions that anchor her. He listens when she cries, protects when she's vulnerable, and stands beside her when the world feels against her. The Sigma male's loyalty is not performative. It's proven in the clutch moments. He may not shout above the noise, but he'll stand in front of it. He doesn't ask for recognition because he's not driven by ego. He's driven by values. And one of those values is loyalty in its purest, most powerful form, silent, steadfast, and unwavering. Number 5. He leads, but never controls. Leadership isn't about domination, it's about direction. And for a married Sigma male, leadership doesn't roar, it resonates with quiet strength, intentionality, and emotional intelligence. Sigma males are known for being lone wolves, independent thinkers who live by their own code. But when a Sigma chooses marriage, he doesn't abandon his nature. Instead, he adapts it. He leads not with a heavy hand, but with a clear vision. This means setting the tone for the relationship, defining shared goals, and consistently moving toward a purpose. But unlike traditional alpha archetypes, he doesn't need control to feel powerful. He knows real power is rooted in trust.